So Jamyang Kyi spent 22 years working for the Qinghai province state broadcaster, and she's a very popular singer. Many people here will know her and love her music, I'm sure. She's a writer, and she's a fearless intellectual. Jamyang Kyi was detained on April 1st, 2008, and I just wanted to set that scene for you in her own words, and I think this is the amazing part about all of these writers. It's one thing to write about life from Tibet, inside Tibet, to write using metaphors and symbolism and not being direct. It's another thing. It's a truly incredible, fearless, courageous thing to write directly, to speak directly, and to say how you're thinking and how you're feeling and what you've been put through by the authorities there. And Jamyang Kyi was detained and interrogated and tortured. And she came out on the other side and she wrote about it. And I'll let her words speak for herself. I was still lying in bed looking at a book on women's rights when the leader Sonam Dorji called, telling me to hurry to the office because something was up. I got straight out of bed, put on my dark red shirt and reddish padded jacket, washed my face, brushed my teeth, and was about to leave without taking breakfast when my niece told me that the tea was ready. I told her to prepare vegetables for a stew at midday and slipped off to the office. On the way, I wondered what it could be about. Was it the unfinished sections of the series being produced? It was a little before 10:30 on the morning of April 1st, 2008. In the courtyard of the 4-story office building, I met the section chief, Pendu. He told me that my colleague, Techutar, had the key to my locker, and then went outside. When I got to the leader's office, there were 3 men and a woman, and on seeing me, one of the men asked if I was Jamyang Kyi and showed himself to be the leader. He got up and said, "We are from the West City Branch Police Team. There is a matter we are investigating. You must come with us." None of them wore police uniforms. Not knowing what it was about, I asked them what they thought I had done, and picked up a paper bearing a red stamp from the desk. I looked at it, but I was too panicked to see what it said. The leader said nothing. At that point, I realized that this matter did not augur well. Once my colleague confirmed that he had my keys, I went straight to the production office, and while getting my keys, called my husband. He immediately asked which police department it was. At that moment, 2 of the police hurried over, saying phone calls were not allowed. "You can come back when the questioning is over," they said. "I need to tell my husband to pick up our daughter from the nursery," I said, staying on the phone. But before I could say 3 words or take 3 steps, they took me down the lift and out into the courtyard. There was a man sitting in a car. I think he must be the gatekeeper for our office. The fat policeman, the main one with me, asked him how he was doing, and then the 2 men, the woman and myself, got into an ordinary Santana with no police markings and drove straight to the West City Police Office. In the car, they chatted and asked me about myself and my family. They took me up a lift and stairs into a big 39-story office building, the offices of the State Security Department. They sat me down in one of a pair of padded chairs. The questioning started at 11 o'clock that day. They said, first of all, that the order to detain me had come from Beijing, and the main point was that I had informed others by telephone of the Lhasa incident, the protest by the Northwest Nationalities University students, and the chaotic incidents in Tibet. All of this is illegal, they said. Those incidents were half a month back, and I could not exactly remember what I had said on the telephone, so there was no way I could admit to this. 3 or 4 police continued to question me about it, and finally went off by early afternoon. The fat policeman asked me what I thought about the beating, smashing, looting, and burning incident in Lhasa. I said he should ask those who were involved. I wasn't there, so it was hard for me to say. It's like if 2 people hit each other. If I was not there, it would be hard to know who was to blame. Haven't you seen the TV pictures of Tibetans committing acts of violence? In general, I do not like violence at all, but this is the disposition of most Tibetans. When I see them engaging in violence, I wonder if it's because they have inexpressible grievances, I explained in trepidation. Moreover, I worry, and I've worked in TV for many years and know a bit about TV editing. Some of the pictures from the Lhasa incident are accurate, but the TV doesn't say anything about the cause or the nature of the dispute. It shows the images of beating, smashing, looting, and burning. Ignoring what I had said, they insisted. Under the special policy of the government, Tibet has undergone transformational development, and the construction goes on with massive infusions of funding every year. Official salaries are much higher than in other provinces. How can they be so ungrateful? I can only speak for myself, not for all Tibetans, but it's a hard question to answer. Anyway, I found the incident saddening because as a Tibetan, I cannot bear to see other Tibetans losing their lives in such a way. Like throwing an egg at a rock, it's the Tibetans themselves who will be the ultimate losers. One of my big worries now is that the exclusive focus by the official media channels on beating, smashing, looting, and burning and the coverage of the Lhasa events will create a serious antagonism between ordinary Chinese and the Tibetan people, I told them. In my own case, while I may have critical views about the operation of the system and the government, I have no such views about ordinary Chinese people. I think most Tibetans feel the same. I've worked in Xining for 20 years, and I have never had any arguments with Chinese people over small things. I don't know the objective of endlessly presenting the event in that way, and it's hard to say yet what the outcome will be.